Welcome to the future of football. This is the International Arena League, where the game is faster, hits are harder, and dreams go global. This past weekend, right here in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena, athletes from across the country stepped onto that field with one goal: to earn their shot at professional arena football.
Hey everyone, welcome to Live with the IAL. I'm Corrine Lewis, Director of Entertainment, and with me today is the one and only Dan Lest, our commissioner. How are you, Dan?
When did your title change? I thought you were fan engagement.
I was, and then
like a secret promotion?
I was fan engagement for the first several months, and then Tom switched me over to the entertainment side. So I'm dealing with all 10 dance teams in 5 countries, predominantly.
Couldn't that be under the same umbrella as fan engagement entertainment? That sounds. I don't mean to make light of the fan engagement entertainment, but those could be synonyms for one another.
Yeah, I think that we'll probably, maybe the three of us will discuss that, because I think there's some stuff that can definitely intertwine for sure.
Okay, so Corinne, I have can I say something, or do you need to be in charge? Can I be in charge? I know you're in charge of entertainment, but like in this hour, I'm kind of in charge of entertainment.
Right.
It's a 50-50 endeavor. So last week we came on the show, and I said to our lovely Jason Roberts, who's in the background, let's get rid of the AI guy. And he goes, Dan, I already got rid of it. I saw, right now, I paid very close attention. The AI guy that is trying to impersonate me is still there. So maybe it's my neck down, but I'm taking it as a crime against humanity that Jason thinks I need to be AI. So I am who I am, Jason. You can't AI me. Okay, the robots can't replace me yet.
Okay, I think we need to come up with a new picture, a new intro.
Don't have to AI the picture, Jason Roberts calling you. That's it. That's all I want to see off the top. I have some other stuff, but it's all good.
I mean,
it was a cool intro. It was a cool intro, but
it is. Yeah. It is a cool intro. So listen, when we left last Tuesday, I think just about the last words spoken were, as Dan Less said, Arizona is going to be number one, right? So now they're in the Sweet 16. I'm going to be honest with you, Dan. I watched none of it. I was so busy doing all the things, I didn't watch it. But I do know that they are playing. Where are they playing? Which city are they going to be in?
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say 2 things.
San Jose or something like that?
I forget the guy's name. Jason Roberts will have it. He can redeem himself by telling us the username of this individual from last week. But it was a good username. I forget what it was. He said Arizona's going to go down. Actually, the tournament started with Duke and Michigan, and that Duke number 1, Michigan number 2 being the we'll say the bookmakers' favorites 1 and 2, and then Arizona's 3, or maybe some combination of 2 and 3. Arizona is now the number 1 favorite in the country. So occasionally the commissioner gets things right. So
I did hear this. I did. And so I was like, oh, Dan's going to love this. But do you know, are they playing in, is it San Jose? Is that where they're playing the Sweet 16?
I don't know where they're playing. What I do know, Corinne, is that I do represent, which I think I've said it's on the show. I don't think I said it last week. I represent St. John's basketball, and I do some of their NIL. I'm not like there's a lot of lawyers around the space, but I've worked with the athletic director for a few years, dating back to his prior school. And St. John's is playing Duke to knock them off the perch. So I might be in DC this weekend.
That's crazy.
Might be, but with this crazy travel schedule that has set up for me in April 18th, I might not go to DC this weekend. So we'll see if they make the Elite Eight. I think I have to go, but Sweet 16, I can sit from my and watch in front of my television. But maybe for the Elite Eight, I have to go.
I love it. That was some of the most fun times I ever had when I was coaching 15 years at University of Oregon. You know, we had some great.
What school did you just reference?
University of Oregon. I was the cheerleading coach for 15. You never heard of Oregon? Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, right. So listen, you mentioned NIL, and right here on my notes, Dan, right here says, I want you to please get out that amazing book you wrote, if you would please, because we glossed over it. And so, yes, this book, and we plugged it a little bit. Please, 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 will you tell our viewers, our people, about this book and the significance that you play and the fact that you wrote it?
Corinne, that is so nice of you. We're going to tie it into the league. And somebody, I think facetiously in the chat, facetiously is a big word. I'm going to drop some big nuggets in you today. Someone said, congrats, Dan, on predicting Arizona making it to the Sweet 16. I did not predict that, okay? That was the most obvious thing, okay? So I think you're being sarcastic. There was like a minus 1,000 that they would make it to the Sweet 16. I'm predicting that they will win the tournament. So I could be wrong on that, but that is not what I'm getting congratulated for. So, Corinne, that is very nice of you. I'm currently writing. So this is the first edition of College Sports Law in a Nutshell. Among many hats I wear, I am a sports law professor. I teach at 2 law schools in the fall and spring. And in that process, I was asked to write a textbook on college sports and NIL law, which is very hot. So I wrote that 2 years ago. I just got asked to write the updated version. So if everyone's like, what's going on in college sports, it's killing the game, there's a transfer portal, there's NIL. This first edition summarizes basically everything, the old school era up through, I think we published this in September of 24. So a lot of stuff's obviously happened over the last 2 years. So we're doing the updated version. That's going to be out in time for my fall semester. So nice. I did that, Corinne. Now I have one other thing. So anyway, this is a great book. I highly recommend it. The second edition is going to be out. It's all good. I have one other thing, Corinne, that came out on Monday that I have not really publicized, but something.
Do tell.
Corinne, are you ready for this?
Yes, I am ready.
There's a fancy website. I want to just know if you've heard of it. It's called law.com.
I have not, but.
You've never heard of a law.com. Do we have any idea what law.com might do?
What is law? Look, this is educational hour. Let's do it. Enlighten me.
Law.com sounds a lot like it would be the front page of all legal things. So
right.
I have an article on it's called law.com. It's the New York Law Journal. But I wrote an article recently on how basically there's all these like regional like lawsuits. Like Duke was suing their quarterback Darian Mensah, and they sued in like Durham County, where like all the judges went to Duke, and this keeps happening across the country. So the reason, part of the reason, I don't want to say the only reason, but I'm certainly very close to these legal issues surrounding athletes, media side, IP side, NIL side, and it's a lot of what we're doing on this side. So we have a lot of fun on these Zooms. Jason, I probably wasn't allowed to say this, but our guest, Jason Allen, is very involved in the social media side, and that's a lot of what I do in addition to college athlete work. I do a lot of work with influencers. I do the book, and we talked about a different show. I have a semi-regular podcast I do. So in my own private practice, I think I embody a lot of the stuff that Tom wants for this league. So Corinne, appreciate the shout. Congrats to me for predicting Arizona to go to the Sweet 16. And congrats to Braden Dobson for that shout out. That was a good one. You got me to laugh on that.
I love it. Okay, so look, so we covered those 2 topics that I wanted to cover, and now I want to cover our IAL Spotlight. And who we have today from the International Arena League is Bo Forbes, who is the social media coordinator, another one of our insanely talented people. How you doing, Bo?
I'm doing good. What's up, IAL? How's it going, guys?
Dan, he's not a show off at all.
I think Bo is a WWE fan just because the way he held that mic right there. I feel pretty confident about that.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to cut a promo.
You know what he's about to do?
I want to cut a promo, but I'm not going to.
No, what he's about to do is if you smell la 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 what the Rock is cooking. I know what that mic hold is.
Well, there is one thing I smell. I smell one
you're
thing.
So awesome. Bo knows. Bo's awesome. Listen, so hey, tell everybody your background, and then let's jump into these amazing announcements.
Yeah, of course. So I've been a filmmaker and a photographer for a decade. Well, over a decade, I guess. I've been in film festivals. I'm 3 times published as a photographer. I've been in marketing and and like social media content creation for about 6 years now. And I just started here about 2 months ago now, and I bleed football. So this is like kind of the perfect clash of everything for me because we got content creation, we have football, and I get to act like a character all day, which I already do in my regular life.
Right. And you do it so well, Bo.
I thank you. And then announcements. Let's start with the first one that I'm most excited about. And I pushed real hard for this because we've already kind of announced this, but I wanted to kind of show this off to everyone.
Nice.
And get one in my hands. And look, oh my gosh, Kamish, I got your autograph right here.
Dan Lust, ladies and gentlemen.
Dan Lust, I got a football right here in hand. We're sending boxes out right now.
This pen did all the work, okay? All I am is a holder of the pen. The pen does
I love it.
You didn't do no. You did the work. Look at that. Beautiful. We've got like an amazing level of stitching there. That like the attention to detail is great. I'm gonna put up a post on socials about this later.
I love it.
That's literally what we've been doing the last like 30 minutes before I hopped on, was just like making content with the ball. Just stuff that we can post. And then a few other things. So I wanted to make sure that I talked about the exhibition game that we have in Stuttgart,
right,
between Dusseldorf and Stuttgart. That's going to be it's going to be 1 p.m. German time on Friday, which is 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Right.
So, if I'm now, as far as like streaming and all that, like live streaming it, I'm not quite sure on the logistics of that. So, that's something that I'm going to try and go live a little bit more regularly on the IG accounts, and like have those conversations. I'm not sure when that'll start, but we're trying to get a little bit more organized in that way on the socials, just so we can get, so that you guys aren't answering all those small questions, because you're talking all the big stuff here. I'm trying to get the small questions out of the way for you. And then we got Meet the Teams Friday and Sunday in Pennsylvania, player tryouts Saturday in Utah, and then Arizona and Cincy. Hey, Arizona and Cincy have single game tickets available for their first home game. Now, Arizona, I can't stress this enough. It feels to me, now I know I've got the Rockers logo here, I've got the neon sign, but what OTB's doing?
Uh-oh.
You know who cut his mic?
Uh-oh.
Hollywood cut it. Hollywood cut it. He's like, we can't be shouting at
Yeah, Hollywood's like, no. We're talking about the Rockers. Hey, for Jason 1, are you there?
Wait, Corinne, call me.
Jason's gonna go check on Bo real quick.
Okay. Well,
I'm standing by.
Well, guess what? We have the commissioner's corner right now anyway.
True.
And so let's do this. This is the time that I get the most enlightened, Dan, is commissioner's corner. So let's jump in with that, and we'll follow up with a special guest soon.
Only because I'm become a diva in my little corner. So, first of all, shout out to Bo. I don't know what happened to Bo. Someone cut his mic. Bo, I don't know what his mannerisms kept showing me that he was about to give me the Rock promo. I have not met Bo before, but I like Bo. But Bo he looked like he was about to drop a wrestling promo. But yeah, I joked with Bo. The signature in the ball looked fantastic. Yes. Somebody in the comments asked when will the ball be available. The ball will be available once it finds its way to my lovely shrine over here, because I don't have a ball yet. So
next
Michael
to the bobbleheads.
Yeah, Michael Klein, you cannot have a ball until I have a ball. So that's just the way it works. It's not going to be available in the shop until I get one. That would be terrible for me not to have one. No, I'm just half messing. So a couple things. I want to give a shout to Bo. Amongst things, and sometimes I speak in like I'm not really like saying the thing that the bad people are saying about us, but I tell you, we're addressing them. We got this. Oh, there he is. There he is. Bo, can I give you? Oh, go ahead, Bo.
No, all I was gonna say before someone sabotaged me. No, I'm joking. Before I got cut out is I think that with the decisions that Coach Jay is making, and I'm watching everything on every team. It feels to me like he's not reacting. He's making decisions first, and then it almost feels as if other teams are kind of reacting specifically to some decisions that he's making. And he's got hands in many pots, so he's got reach. And so Arizona's looking strong.
Can I comment on that, Corinne?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is your first time on the show. Corinne runs a really tight ship. If I say or do anything I'm not allowed to do, one of the bobbleheads gets their head chopped off. So I got to be really careful here. Jason's going to be on the show in a few, so I'm sure he's loving hearing that. I want to give you a compliment, Bo, and then we'll dismiss you from class momentarily. But we have gotten before your arrival on the scene. When did you start with the league? I don't know like exactly.
About 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know you're taking on a new role as of, you told me like 3 days ago, doing some other teams' work. But I think the quality of our social media across the board has stepped it up. And trust me, Bo, you were saying you read everything. I read everything. I try to read all the negativity we're saying about the league. And if it gets to me, I don't think our lovely Tom Mitchell is as much as in the comments. And we don't need him to be, because Tom is obviously doing a lot of other things. But if I see the same comment a couple times, I try to make it a point, like we need to fix this. So the website, social media, and obviously Tom hears the same stuff as well. I will say, I think our social media, and the numbers never lie. Our engagement is exponentially above where it was, and I think the content that we're putting out is strong. So we hear the complaints, we hear the issues. All we can do is absorb and make the changes. So I'm not seeing the haters out as much. They have less to critique. So Bo, credit to you and your team for putting that out. And a little birdie told me that a family member of yours was recently featured on the IAL socials.
Yes. Yeah. My son, he met OTB, and just after everything, he already was watching the Destroying One-on-Ones all the time because he loves football. And so when he met OTB, it absolutely blew his mind. And so it ended up it went like mini viral and then it went even more viral because it was on the socials. And it's just, he got a message from the center of the juggernauts on my socials to tell my son that he can't wait to meet him. And my son was just blown away. It was awesome.
I love that.
Because that's really what the whole thing is about, right? We're here to make families and kids happy and be accessible. The players, the coaches, the fans, everything, all to make these happy moments happen and give those forever moments to those children that they can always carry with them.
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you having us. We appreciate having you on the show. It's very good. And shout out to everything you're doing on socials. I think they're getting better and better every week. So much appreciated.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. And I'd like to, if I can, give a special shout out to to a couple of my coworkers, Cody and Jose. They're always right there with me. We share an office. It gets a little hot sometimes because we're going through a heat wave right now, but we hold it down right here.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Thank you so much, Bo.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Okay, Dan, keep on keeping on with that Commissioner's Corner.
Okay, Coach OTB. People kept hearing OTB and Jason Allen. They're the same person. They've never actually been seen in the same room, but I'm confident they're the exact person.
That's actually my question.
Yeah, same people. So let's do it. It's funny. I'm not going to shout them out, but we last week on the show, someone asked a question in the crowd, in the audience, as to whether or not we had rebound nets, and I said, not sure from breaking news, but we don't. And someone which was cool. It's the first time I've been aggregated in this role. In my lawyer role, sometimes I get quoted and stuff, but yeah. So I saw the comments and someone said, well, they're not the International Arena League if they don't have rebound nets. Tough. Those are the rules. There's never been an International Arena League. So unfortunately, we are making the rules for the first ever International Arena League. So could they have rebound nets for year 2? Yeah, but somebody asked this in the comments on the Twitter. Could we have rebound nets in year 2? That's certainly the expectation. So I don't want to say we're ruling it out. That was the expectation for year 1, but sometimes you have to, as they say in March, survive in advance. So that was just the way we did it. Yeah, so as Bo mentioned, we have the exhibition coming up on March 28th. We're working on finalizing details for another exhibition that will be done overseas. So we had a really successful tryout on Saturday last week, or this past Saturday, and we're still trying to work the kinks out. We're trying to figure out exactly where our pressure points are. So this past Saturday was really our first stress test of the field. We wanted to kind of get a sense for how that would set up and how long it took to set up. It was, we're doing these things as much to show the outside world that we are moving and shaking as much as Avengers Doomsday. I'm not really an Avengers person. Hopefully I don't get deplatformed for saying that, but I'm not. Yeah, so that was kind of a stress test so people could see we have beautiful branding on the field. It looked fantastic. And the stress test over the weekend, like we need, like before week 1 overseas, we have a lot of players that have never touched a football inside an arena. So we originally were going to have a doubleheader for this March 28th exhibition. It was always going to be Stuttgart and Dusseldorf, and then the other half of that exhibition was going to be Zurich and Glasgow. We have, for a good reason, and I'm going to get to one of the comments that somebody asked momentarily, we have pulled Glasgow from that exhibition, and we are moving them. The date's not finalized, but it looks like it's probably going to be the next week to play an exhibition game against Nottingham. They're natural rivals and they're local. So if anybody was wondering why there's only 2 games in that exhibition, or I'm sorry, 2 teams in that exhibition, not 4, that's why. We just haven't announced the date yet. That first game, I think, is just going to be I'm not sure exactly when it's official, but I think we're just going to stream that YouTube. We'll see if we're going to do like announcers in the full 9 yards for that. And we're working on something a little more special to the extent the second exhibition could get done. But these are really stress tests. And I think the cool part, which I'm happy to break more news because I know some things and I have a sense of what we can say. We are flying our U.S. referees over for that game. So a lot of that game is going to be a tutorial for fans and players to really understand how rules are going to be enforced. Like everyone, I think, understands that not every rule is enforced to the black letter of the law. And sometimes in some leagues, especially in weeks 1 through 3, the early weeks of the season, things are called more often than they're not, just to show the players this is how we're going to enforce it. But we have a new league, so like we don't want this to be a laundry fest and have like flags all over the field. We're in the process of this kind of advanced preparation. So our rule book, which has been disseminated to all officials, all coaches, all players, this is their quote unquote study period. So they're learning up on the rules, and hopefully, again, they can put that in action this weekend. And then again with our second stress test, we'll say it's going to be the week of April 10th, but not finalized just yet.
No, that's perfect. So it should be. I mean, even the dancers over there, Dan, like, they've never cheered for football, let alone arena football. They haven't cheered like that either. They're like, I'm trying to teach them on our Zoom calls, what does it mean with this and that? It doesn't mean the same thing that, so it's all the way around. It's an all new experience. It's a whole new world over there, but they are so excited. Like, yeah. So,
can I hit some of these comments really quick before we bring Jason on?
Yeah.
I see Firebird DW. I see him. He's on a lot of our Zooms. I can't tell you the answer to the question you're looking for. I'm not going to say that on a live, but let's just say there's a reason that we are being very competitive in terms of acquiring talent. So salary range is high relative to other comparable leagues. That's all I can say. If you do your homework, that number is out there, but it's not for me to say. So Switzerland is not looking like it's getting a preseason game at this point. Just moving and shaking, and just the nature of the beast. You got 5 teams overseas, and it was always going to be complicated to have an odd number of teams at these. So yeah, it's a little tricky.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Well.
What's going on?
What is happening? Did we just have a run-in? We just had an interference? We have Hollywood just crashed the party?
Stone Cold doing the Royal Rumble.
Listen, you know
What
I'm a
did
wrestling
you
guy, so
just say, Hollywood?
What did you do with Jason? Is he lying in a pool of his own blood backstage?
I had to break in. I figured out a way to finagle, and I broke in.
You're upside down, Coach.
Why am I upside down?
You got to...
Well, let's keep him upside down. I'm okay with that. But Hollywood, we're in the middle of the stream, so you must have important news for us.
My important news is Hollywood is here. I wanted to come and hang out, man. I hear that
He's here. Right. You know what, Corinne? Corinne, the people have heard enough from me. I think Commissioner's Corner's over. I think Hollywood should stay. I have one question for Hollywood.
No, I want to talk about how your name is on the balls, man.
Is this a comment that your name should be on the balls?
No, I just think that is really cool. I just think the signature is nice. It's nice penmanship. Are you right-handed?
I am. There's some undertones to this, but yes, I am right-handed. Hollywood, I have a question. I have a question. I'm being punked, but I control the punking. There's no punking. How many signature attempts do you think it took me to get that beautiful signature on the ball? Over, under 19 and a half. There's an answer to this.
15.
Took me a lot. It took me a lot. It's gotta be perfect. I probably did closer to like 50. And I picked the right one. Yeah, I did a lot.
I think it looks good though. I really do. I'm excited.
Listen, you know, once upon a time, John Hancock, he's known for his signature. He did a lot of nice things in life. People know him for the signature.
Yeah.
That's it. So maybe when my story is written and I'm buried in the ground, people will be talking about me for the signature. Nothing else. Take it.
It looks good.
So do we have our special guest?
Yes, we do.
Jay is on the background, but we got a lot of feedback from some source of audio.
Yeah, I'm hearing it on mine too.
There it is. He figured it out.
Do we? I think Jason Roberts. Do we have a clip to roll?
Oh, you figured it out.
We got a cool photo from laying down the turf at the Orleans Arena.
Okay. So I think, well, okay, I'm going to make a comment, and then the show is off the rails at this point. So Commissioner's Corner is going to end with this comment, and I want Hollywood to just comment on what I'm about to say, and then I won't have anything else. And then Corinne, I think we should just bring in the guest immediately afterwards. Okay.
Yes.
I've been on lives with Hollywood now going back 3 months. You know, I've seen his game film. I saw this picture, this lovely picture that was taken this past Saturday. And I have to watch my language. Hollywood looks like he might be able to beat up everybody in this picture, like on a 1-on-4 situation. So looks might be deceiving. Don't judge a book by its cover. I know that was my first impression from this photo. Hollywood, I have no further comment. I'm wondering if you have a comment on my comment. You're on mute.
And with that being said, is he on mute? Is Hollywood on mute?
He might be abstaining from a comment. He might just be saying, Dan is right. I would beat up everyone. He might be saying that.
It's so funny. Well, listen, I don't disagree with you at all, Dan. I don't disagree at all with this picture. With that being said, let's bring on our special guest, Arizona Juggernauts head coach Jay Allen.
The man, the myth, the legend. The man, the myth, the
Do you see
legend.
all this going on, Jay?
What's up? What's up? What's
What
up,
up,
ladies?
Jay?
What's
What
up,
up, Jay?
fellas?
How are you doing,
Hey,
Coach?
this definitely has been a very entertaining last half hour, I should say the least.
Oh my gosh. Do
Definitely
you hear some
entertaining.
feedback?
I think it's Hollywood. I think it's you, Hollywood. Listen,
Okay,
you
so
you had
listen,
you're
Coach,
you're on the Thursday
I'm
show.
leaving. I'm leaving.
Coach Allen.
Just I
Okay,
want
Nah, you
Hollywood
good.
to
Hey,
listen.
man, stay right there, Hollywood. Just mute your phone.
He's listening, so it's good. We have a captive audience. It's good. Listen, this is so
Right.
entertaining that Hollywood is now just a spectator. Okay.
I mean,
fantastic.
it's that was hilarious.
Yep.
I did not expect that.
Do you see Tom Pact?
What did he say? What did he say?
This guy Tom Pact is at the top of the power rankings. This guy is just throwing heaters. Okay. So, Corinne, the ship is going to get back on track. I promise. The commissioner runs a tight ship. I know it says commissioner over here, but as Jay mentioned, this is very entertaining. I'm also the director of entertainment. It's been a vacated position by Corinne. She's actually been demoted to director of fan engagement. So for the next 24 minutes or so, I will be your captain on the director of entertainment ship.
Okay,
But I am going to pass the wheel momentarily back to Corinne to properly introduce Coach Allen.
Oh, you know what? I already introduced him, and I got a chance to talk. With you before. So listen, everybody wants to hear you talk X's and O's and all the things with our commissioner. That's what they want to hear. But I do have to say, this OTB, we've been hearing this now for a while, and so let's catch up all the viewers from around the world and explain the outside the box. Explain that to everybody so that they can get to know a different side of you before we start talking about you with the IAL.
Well, appreciate you, Corinne. And first and foremost, I thank you guys for having me on. Dan, shout out to my guy, Dan. We talk quite often. Outside the box, man, that's just pretty much what it is. It's a mentality, it's a lifestyle. So the OTB is an acronym for just that. It actually is outside the box specialty training and youth mentoring. So many moons when I got started around about the end of my playing career, towards the end of my playing career, I transitioned to coaching my sons and a lot of kids in his youth league. I just seen that they need help. They need a lot of mentoring. So I took it on as a mentoring coaching position, turned it into a 501c3 nonprofit organ, and just built out from there. A lot of tackle organizations, did a lot of high school football coaching, arena coaching, JUCO, just whatever the case may be. Just coaching in the Valley of Arizona for a long time. And then eventually it just expanded out to what you guys see on the YouTube aspect as far as the one-on-ones and what I do with my co-hosts. So a fun fact about that's actually called Flex Friday. So pretty much I would say about 10 years or plus, I have a home gym. So I train guys in what we call it the box. So it's an old school training type mentality gym that I have in my house. So I'll just take in at-risk youth for, less fortunate situations or, single parent homes or maybe whether it's mother, father, whatever the case may be. A lot of kids that, I like to look at like myself when I was coming up. Although I did have a 2-parent home, but I was definitely an at-risk youth. So a lot of these kids, I just brought them in, put them around my kids. We built out a program. I would train them in my garage. They would talk, a lot of joy, jive back and forth throughout the week. And then come Friday, what we would do is we just go down to the field down the street. And we do one-on-ones. And we call it Flex Friday. We have a good workout in the gym, and then we hit the field. So that Flex Friday, it became a thing for about 3-4 years. And then I ran into my co-host, Destroying. He was covering one of my 707 tournaments out in Las Vegas. I got wind of him that he lived in Arizona. So kind of like, yo, if you're in Arizona, I'm in Arizona, we should link up. Being a good fella that he is, a good brother that he is, he reached out to me. I sent him one of the Flex Friday films, like, I got this format that I do. So if you look back at the first original film, all those guys, we did it for a PS5. He was like, man, if we could do this concept, I'll bring out a PS5 about $500 and give it out. So if you look at the original videos and stuff, they're all done in Arizona. They're all done either at my high school where I coached there for years, and it used to be invite only. About the third episode, a couple of them went viral, a couple of the clips went viral, and that's what we just we had something and we took off. So
Yeah,
Dan, I know you old school, man. So my concept of it, and I ain't throwing no dart. These younger guys though, they don't really they're not too much familiar with. But it was a basketball movement called N1 Mixtape Tour. So every Friday I knew I had something to the liking of that. So once me and my co-host kicked it off, that was always my image for it, to be the N1 mixtape tour of football. Guys go around the country, doing one-on-ones. It started at, for a PlayStation. We upped it to 2,000. I think it went to 5,000. Now it sits at 10,000. One-on-ones, best receiver versus best DB. So that's what it is, and that's what a lot of these people know me for. But what a lot of people don't know, I've been coaching in about 20 years, or just around the country.
Right. Well, the last thing I'm going to say before Dan takes over this segment is what you're doing, Coach. That's legacy stuff. There's you as a football player and coach and all things, but all the things that you're doing, period. That's legacy, and I have so much respect. So
I definitely appreciate your gratitude. Definitely.
All right, I'm off this. Go ahead and take me out, Jason.
I think we can go there we go. We got Lou on the ones and twos. He's helping produce today. So Jay, first of all, shout out to Lou. I caught a little bit of a stray for some reason that I'm old school. Like, I'm not 40 yet, so I'm not old school. I'm
chill out.
I'm new school.
No, listen, you old school because you got a old soul. Then we rap a lot. I know good energy and I know good spirits, and you more so of an old soul. So take that in a complimentary way, I should say.
Sure, fine. I also want to compliment your shirt. I feel like that's officially licensed IAL merchandise.
I think it's IAL licensed. What you say, licensed by it? Yes, it's good. Shout out to Tom.
There's been other merch that you've worn that I think has been incredible. I don't know if we could say the same adjectives, but
it's been incredible. But this is licensed.
Okay, so before we talk about the real stuff, I want to throw up this picture that was on the screen before. Lou, my man Lou, do you have this for me? There it is. So Jay, you sent this to me, and I shout out to Jackie, who's helping out with Saya. What's my man's name to the left of Hollywood?
That's Coach Hollywood's coach. Oh, don't let me say his name wrong. Hollywood, your guy. He helped out with my DVDs.
Now, I just want to say this, and this, Luke, keep this on the screen for a second. On the right side of the image, we got three guys, Saya, we got you, we got Jackie. You guys look like you're posing for a picture. Hollywood and Hollywood's number two, they look like they're getting ready for a fight. They're getting ready for a different sport, right? They look like, they look like they showed up. I don't know, Jay. I'm just telling you, Hollywood in this picture, and I know looks deceiving.
You had to zoom in on it a little bit.
You might be able to fit two Jay Allens inside Hollywood in this picture. He looks
like he might have ate me, right? He looked like he probably ate me a little bit. Yeah, that's pause, whatever those guys say.
I didn't say that. Hockey flu. Do not start with Hollywood. He's listening to the Zoom.
He looks like a guy I don't want no problem with. Hey, matter of fact, all them fellas on there, they just look so intimidating and threatening. And me being the God-fearing, loving man as I am, man, it looks like a bunch of guys I don't want no problems with.
I just need to say something for yours and my safety. I did not tell Lou or anybody to put the comment from @hockeyplum on the stage where an adjective was used that starts with the TH about Hollywood. I did not say that. Okay. So
I can't see these notifications, but I would love to.
You don't want to be associated with the comment that was just flashed across the screen. Okay. But as we say in the law, the truth is an absolute defense. And I think that was a fair word that was used to describe Hollywood. He does look rather thick. He does look very thick.
He looked like he's ready to play right now. And I don't know if he's going to coach or is he going to play right now. And I could use some more interior guys. Hollywood, they're paying decent in this league, man.
We can take the picture off the screen. Let's talk shop for a few minutes, and then we'll try to get you out of here. I know you're busy, man. So, you and I have been speaking. I think it's your first time, on we'll call it the A show. The B show is like Hollywood show on Thursdays. So, the people come for the entertainment on this show, and then if they miss the A show, they see the B show.
Wait, so Hollywood has his own show on Thursday?
He comes. He's like a regular. He calls it the Hollywood show.
Is that the same day we have the coaches meetings?
Yeah, that's you know what? That's
sense.
Probably the reason he's not.
Makes sense,
actually, you know what? Corinne, this is not live. None of this can be used. So we just got to burn the tape after this because nobody. Listen, we're gonna get in trouble, but what it is what it is. So Jay, a couple things. we've had we've had basically, say we've had the majority of the coaches out at this point, and I asked this question to everybody. And there's somebody, I think he's one of your guys, this guy Tom Pack. You can't see what yeah, you got your people in the crowd. This guy Tom Pack, who told me that the Arizona Wildcats were no good, which obviously he was not right about. He did put a bold statement on the screen which flashed right before you came on. He wrote, Coach OTB greater sign Coach Hollywood. So the people in these comments, there's a lot of smack talk between Coach Allen and Coach Zimmerman. I was not aware of this rivalry, but clearly it exists, right? Am I crazy? Hey, this is palpable.
You and I both weren't aware of this rivalry, man. So I listen. I just met that guy this weekend. He's an awesome dude, an awesome coach. Obviously, was an awesome player. When we get between those lines, X's and O's, so everything's a fire. You know, size. That's my guy. Coach Lee's an awesome guy out there as well. But when we cross that line, it's free game for everybody. I'm going at everybody's face accordingly, man. But other than that, man, Hollywood is an awesome dude. I got to meet him, and this weekend, nothing bad to say about that guy. I don't know why they're building a rivalry. If they want to build a rivalry, coach don't like nobody don't got this logo on, so we can start there.
I'm just going to give a note to our producers: do not put the next comment on the screen because that will start a war, and we're just not going to do that. So Jay, I'd love, obviously part of our league, we're working kind of top down, right? So people have got to meet myself, Corinne, they've got to meet the executives. We're trying to introduce them to our coaches. Slowly but surely, we'll bring some more players on once they have the achievements to kind of get there. But this is really a coach-driven personality league. And I love, right? I love what you do. And I was kind of alluding to, behind the scenes, you and I have, in a previous life, I was known as at Sports Law Lust, which is my handles. Yeah. I'm not as active as I used to be, but I understand the power of social media. And Jay, you were one of the first coaches. I think you were the second coach in the entire league that was signed. Maybe you and Coach King were signed maybe the same week. But you kind of embody this vision that I know Tom has put forward with the league. Like, we have to have ambassadors for the league. And I see all the stuff you do on your side channels. And I saw this great video of you, and we just had Bo Forbes that was on here. I see this kind of what's the commercial? The Coke commercial, the Mean Joe Green commercial. That's the big one.
Hey,
yeah.
Man. Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, and I see this, and I'm like, Coach OTB's got little kids that are idolizing Coach OTB. Hasn't coached it down in the league yet, and he's the guy. So speak about kind of your platform. I know you hit it a little bit, but your vision on kind of growing the game through your branding of football in this new venture here.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So my vision, man, and man, first and foremost, shout out to my guy Brady, man. Shout out to Forbes. Everybody know Coach OTB love the kids, and that's what I do it for. I built this. Everything I do, man, I built it behind the kids. And if you know me, that's just near and dear to my heart. So shout out to my guy. So my vision for this thing, how I could tie in my Coach OTB narrative and the whole thing, is just community. So if you know me and you know who I am, if you guys watch the YouTube one-on-one series, we go around, we give out a good substantial amount of money, but we don't charge these people to get in events. We don't charge for parking. We don't charge for tickets. It was always about community. I hate I don't hate nothing, but I strongly dislike the term fans. I don't have fans. I have supporters. I myself was never a fan of no man, but I have supporters. So I love all the supporters and the people that support me. So I've always told my co-host Dig is like, we're never going to not be available to these people in our community. So when they come, we're crowd surfing through 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 people, but we're going to take pictures with you. We're going to shake your hands. You're going to high five. You're going to be able to stand on the field with us. You're going to be able to interact with us. Coming up the way I did, coming up seeing some of the things I did, and just being less fortunate in some situations was one of those things of I wanted to be seen. So I just want these people to understand that they're seen, and I value them, and I value their support. So hopefully I could bring my Coach OTB narrative in, just with more so bringing the community in. So what I do every year for the past few years is just go around the country doing my Coach OTB elite technique, fundamental skills clinic, putting on free clinic or very cost-friendly clinics for kids. So hopefully I can get some of these kids out here to be able to come to the game, and we have kid night there. We have, fan night, whatever the case may be. Obviously the content, tie in the content. People love when I'm being passionate. You know, if somebody might say it's intimidating or something, I'm a mean coach. I'm very passionate about what I do. I'm a very detail oriented coach, technically, fundamentally sound coach. So whatever I'm doing, I'm doing. And you can just probably look at some of the tryouts and some of the little events we've already had. So I'm in tune. So that's how I plan on tying the Coach OTB narrative, the community guy that I am, the just little braid, and that was genuine. I didn't even know they had the camera going. A kid called me from the sideline. He said, "Hey, I heard a lot about you. You heard a lot about me. Who am I? I'm just a guy out here doing my job." And just grateful to you guys. Obviously, I talked to you early on the vetting process and time, just giving me the opportunity to come on and just further my resume, obviously as a head coach, but just being able to tie the community in, and being that I'm local to Arizona, I have been out here for many moons. Being able, they're excited, man. My support cast, they're excited. They're looking forward to it. And if you know me and you know me in my other lanes of coaching, I don't coach the principle. I don't coach win, win, win. It's the components that I coach that allows to win. So they're expecting us to win. So I do got a lot of pressure on me, but by the grace of God, I'm grateful that I do have the community support. So I do plan on bringing them along with this ride.
So we clearly have a lot of Arizona people in the comments. Which, shout out to Arizona, so it's all good. I will say this, and we're not going to keep you for so long. We try to keep these generally up to the hour. What we like about, or what, and I can't take credit for finding you, hiring you. Obviously, like I told you, I think when we spoke, like you've already got the job. Just like don't say anything stupid here that tells me to tell Tom we shouldn't go. So
Hopefully I didn't do that.
No, but I think this speaks, and we want to introduce a lot of people to the game of arena football. And I, as I explained it to, my colleagues, friends that ask about, arena, how does arena different than, the pro game? And I'm like, listen, what we're bringing to the table, we're not the first, and we're certainly not going to be the last arena football league that's been created, right? But we want to bring storytelling, we want to bring messaging, we want to bring branding. So, Jay, you are using this league as a platform to build something and bringing more attention to what you're doing, which is fantastic. The other thing, which I think is very cool, and I'm happy to shout you out, like you're very independent, right? You and I talk, and we're not talking about like 5-alarm fires. Like you've generally preempted and you catch these things going on. And I think, when we're a startup league, like we're looking for people that can be the captain of the ship in their jurisdiction. So be it, Hollywood and Vegas or you over in Arizona. I can shout out everybody, but I'm just not going to do that. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that have that entrepreneurial spirit and that want to build something special that have their name attached to it. So Jay, in that sense, like I could shout out a lot of people, but I don't think there's anybody else in this league that quite embodies that entrepreneurial spirit better than you. So I think, in that sense, I think you're a great fit for the league, and I'm excited to hear you. Excited to see everything get on the field. I will say one thing, Jay, and I have this my last comment for you. You can answer this however you want to answer this.
Go ahead.
There's a guy in the comments that asking. It's a good question. It's a good segue, and I'm very dangerous. I've told the people I read every comment, which sometimes burns me, but it's okay. Someone's asking how was the turnout of tryouts on Saturday? So Jay, you were in attendance. There we go. There's Jordan. Shout out to Jordan. You were in attendance on Saturday. And I guess we can announce this here. I'm not really overly concerned with it. I think there was some branding online that there would be a draft and capital D draft. We essentially allowed the coaches who were in attendance to pick the players they were interested in, and the players are going to have full control over whether they sign up for a team. So it's not a capital D draft, but we want to create some fun around it. And Jay, you were in attendance, and I got the scouting reports. I spoke to a lot of people there. There was some talent in attendance.
Yes,
now, I think that's subjective because I heard that from a couple people. So the people I spoke to, I said, I'm just trying to collect claims. Who's interested in these guys? And I reached out to you, Jay, and this is no ill will toward any of the players involved. Jay, you essentially told me my roster is pretty good right now. And I think that speaks, Jay, that you are a man that's ready. You have your players, you've made commitments to your players that they're pretty good. So I'd love to hear about the roster you're building. If you want to shout out anyone in particular, by all means, the floor is yours. But we get a lot of questions in the comments. Someone gave a question last week. I don't need to shout them out, but they said, "Oh, there's not that." I think we had a single digit tryout with single digit amount of players overseas, and someone said that was a bad sign, and they were worried. And I said, I'm not really that concerned. The coaches might find one guy or zero guys. So, Coach, I'd love you to speak. You went to the tryout, yet you still feel good about your roster. So I'd love you to speak about your roster, and generally that you seem to be ready to go. I think you have a full squad at this point.
Yeah, you can always use some pieces. So to speak to these guys tryouts and my own personal tryout, I ran one in Arizona. I know they did an awesome job overseas. And we just had the one this weekend, Saturday, which was double-digit numbers. I did the defensive side of the tryout. Head coach Saya did the offensive side of the tryout. So that just in itself speaks volumes. You're not going to go to too many tryouts to where these tenured head coaches are out there hands-on running the tryout. I mean, it was the most professional thing that you could possibly see. And I did my fair share of tryouts through my career. The talent that was there. But, unfortunately for me, I got those numbers. I got those guys in those positions. But I did shoot myself in the foot down when I got off the phone with you or when after I text you and I said, hold on, who got the quarterback? So if that quarterback is still out there, that's my bad. I could bring him into camp. But other than that, no, definitely quality talent. The turf is awesome. I play, arena football. The turf is the big thing. But so when we got out there, side speak to it, Hollywood to speak to it as well. It's some great quality turf. The fact that guys were able to run around, we went from an individual period, far as the talent that we had there, evaluation, to a one-on-one competition period, to a team competition period, and it was live. I think I sent you the clip, and on the last clip that I sent you, I'm coaching. I blacked out, and I forgot that I wasn't at a tryout. I was in a 8-man arena game at that time. So yeah, shame on those people who want to spew bad comments like that, because that's just not the truth. As far as my roster, fortunately, by the grace of God, being in the field that I'm in, I've coached a long time. I've traveled. The one-on-ones allows me to have a different type of roster. I've did some behind the scenes with different leagues as well. So I do have a plethora of talent that I could reach out to. It's unfortunate we only have a certain amount of guys that we can house during the season this inaugural year, or unless I would have a great roster, more than I already do. So the guys that I have, a lot of guys, being in Arizona, man, Arizona's a hotbed for football. What people don't understand, I know you look at collegiate sports right now, or even in the NFL, a lot of the top guys, you could tag them for being from Arizona. So I have a lot of those kids in my own backyard. They may have went away to play the UFL, CFL, NFL, college, and it just didn't work out, or they're in between careers. They'll love to come back and play for me. Guys that I've traveled and met across the country just throughout my journeys and my ventures. I was able to go back and reach out to some of those guys as well. So I'm comfortable with my roster. Shout out to Sheldon Augustine, Juju, Sheldon. Who else? Uh, Arion, Maxie Penton, DB. I'm actually bringing my son, Tavian Allen, a defensive back, plays corner, bringing him on board. Rossi Hodge, formerly with the Arizona Rattlers, bringing him on as well. Josh Brooks, Max. I mean, you see these guys are they're everything that you want them to be. So right now, I think I'm just hand picking guys. I always can use a couple pieces here and there, but as far as it's needed, being in a need for guys, I'm gonna rock out with the guys I have. We're gonna go into camp April 1st. We're gonna have a true camp evaluation. It's a wide open thing. I don't care if I don't know you from a can of paint or I know you for the last 20 years. The best player plays for me. So that's what we're going to with the camp mentality. We'll have an inter squad scrimmage on the 11th. Put these guys in the arena, let them have an inter squad scrimmage. I'll pick my squad from there. Hopefully, I can keep the guys that I want to keep. Guys that don't make the roster, good luck to you, best of luck to you. Doesn't mean that you're not good. Just keep shooting. So for the most part, I feel comfortable with what I got. I'm excited to get going. Hold on, man. I got a major hire. I don't know if guys are familiar with the arena world like they say they do, but shout out to my offensive coordinator. We don't talk about this enough, Dan. Jamal Miles, right? Jamal Miles, Arizona Sun Devil, ASU legend, Arizona Rattler legend. I mean, Jacksonville Jaguars, all that. Played with the Rattlers. I say he just retired to come coach with me. So that's why he's coming to coach with me. Arizona Rattlers running back, wide receiver. I mean, definitely be a Hall of Famer. So that's if I want to shout out anybody, shout out to Jamal Miles and then my assistant defensive coordinator, William Brown, also another NFL vet as well. So we got a couple
I think
pieces
you
that we
shouted
cooking
out the
with.
whole roster. I think you're good. No one's
Yeah.
mad at you.
Yeah,
I
and
think
you know
you're good.
what? Hey, listen, Dan, I didn't give up somebody some credit. They're gonna text me, Coach, you didn't speak on me. So shout out to the whole
Jay,
Juggernaut roster
Jay,
that
can
I
you
got coming in.
Can you see what was just posted on the bottom? Can you see this or no? You can't see.
I can't see. I haven't been able to see anything. Oh, let me see.
He can. You can see it.
Can Coach take Hollywood in a fight? I bet the over. I mean, we just talk Hollywood. What's the wager? What they put in the pot? What they put in the pot? If they put something in the pot,
See,
I'll do it.
my man Tom Pack is not much of a better because I don't know what the over is. The over doesn't make sense. The over means that there's no finish in the fight. You're going to go into the cards.
Is that
Yeah.
Tom Pack? Hey, Tom Pack, I got out there and I was running around to try out this weekend. The way this old man knee is acting, man, I'd rather give Hollywood a hug than throw a punch at that guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
that might not be for you to decide, but you're not here writing the rule book, but it's all good. Hey, Jay, listen, we tremendously appreciate you. If you're curious, if the fans are curious, the Hollywood rivalry, May 2nd, I think it's right. It's your home openers against the Rockers, and
No.
you have two obviously home teams against domestic teams or the U.S. division.
It's not the home opener,
last
Dan.
week of the season.
It's not the home opener. It's actually my mother's birthday. So I need everybody to come out and support my mother on her birthday as her son coaches his first home game in Arizona.
But it is the home opener. It just also happens to be a more important day. Got it? Because I thought I said something wrong.
Yeah,
I did
you
not.
see
I am
you see how I
correct.
did that? Shout out to my mom.
It's all good. Okay, last thing, it's 5:01. I'm going to end up closing the show here, but Jay, you can hang with me as we put this in the books. You mentioned another team in another league, which I'm not going to mention. Is my role. You're all good. We are here to support the football world. So the more football, the better. So we are not necessarily, we're not necessarily trying to be an invader and disrupt the space, but we're trying to create an alternative product. For those who've had gripes with certain leagues for certain years, we're just trying to do something a little bit different. But we think there's enough room for all the football. We're very much fans of football, so it's all good. Jay, I'll let you bounce. You can get out of here. I'll shut down the show, but appreciate you very much, Jay. Good luck this season. Usually Corinne's here. Corinne usually has fancy things to say when she shuts down. She has more important endeavors. So we'll say this and we'll get out of here. Corinne, I think, has another show on Thursdays. I'll be back here next Tuesday. This kickoff. Kickoff is April 18th, so we're getting pretty close. I saw someone had. Yep, there we go. Thank you. We're on the same page here. 25 days until week 1. So, I saw a comment earlier in the chat. It was from one of our regulars. I'll shout him out. Do I have it? Yeah, here we go. Nick Durst. Nick Durst says Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything takes a few weeks to get the kinks out, especially in a new league. I agree, Nick Durst. Look at you, Lou. You're very quick on the trigger. I like it. Listen, we've been preparing for this. I've said it, when it was January, February, I said all problems are solvable 90 days out, 60 days out. We're getting toward the finish line here. So we've put a lot of the work in. I think this month or so leading up is even more stressful. But that's why we put the work in, and I've been doing these lives for months now, dating back. It's a pleasure to see this thing come together. I have not really been seeing the negative comments recently, which is good. And I'll say this as a kind of final note, and we'll leave this be. We understand, and I'm saying this, we are setting the floor appropriately for year 1. We understand the difficulties of a new league with a competitive league in the U.S., right, with a lot of other leagues kicking off at the same time. We understand that we're introducing a new sport, right, overseas. Like, we get that. So anyone that looks at year 1 and says that this is the fate of the league, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we are certainly in this for the long run, and we understand there will be growing pains. We understand what a startup is. As Nick Durst beautifully said, once upon a time, Rome wasn't built in a day. Everything takes a few weeks. I would say it takes a little bit more than a few weeks, but we've been on this now for a while. And Tom Mitchell has had this vision, dating back a couple of years. So I think I was one of the first people he brought on once he decided to launch in 2026. And it seemed a little scary, but getting close to the finish line here. So we appreciate all of you that tune in each and every week to hear the journey. And it's always a pleasure. Preseason game this weekend, I believe, will be streamed. I know we have different plans for the next one, but I know the tryout this past weekend was streamed. So speaking of getting the kinks out, we are still working that out. It was streamed internally. We were working through some things. So, yeah, it's also, I think part of the strategy, if it's not streamed, Colorless Penguin, great name. We want people to come in person and experience the game. So that's an event that's open to the public. So some of these we're intentionally not streaming. We might stream it internally so I can see what's going on and we can just kind of work with camera angles and whatnot. But we want people to come in person. So if we streamed it, anyone would just go and watch the curiosity. We want people to come and meet the players, meet the refs. It's all good. Are the rules for this league on the website? They're not. I guess they could be. They could be. Good question, Jordan G. Dub. They're not on the website yet. We are still working out a couple things. Like, here's a good example. Ready? Breaking news here. There are some things that we still, like, we're not quite sure what we want to be in writing versus, put it this way, like, like, let's say a player gets suspended or fined or disciplined for something. Right? Should that be an internal mechanism? Like, should I, as the commissioner, have some say over that? Should it be team-based? There's some things that, like, we're still working out, whether they're team issues, league issues, should they be, and Coach Allen's not on anymore, but coaches are coming up with their own protocol. Like, we're trying to figure out how much we want. Like, we obviously want to be transparent in the building of the league. That's why we did the documentary. That's why we're doing these lives. But that line has to be somewhere, right? Like, so we're trying to figure out that line. At some point, obviously, the rules of the game have to be public, and they are for most leagues, but it's our first year in the league. So I think the stress test of the exhibition games will help us figure out exactly where we want to keep the rules, but it's all good. Michael Klein says that football is streaming live on Twitch. There we go. There we go. Michael Klein, super fan number one. Cool. Okay. I think we're ready to end this. Yeah. Okay. So appreciate you joining each and every week. These lives have gotten very good. And I mean, like, you know, this obviously is good, but the comments have gotten very good. And I see they're almost like 100% positive. That means we're doing good things. Please tell your friends, you know, and continue to share and support what we're doing. I mean it. Shout out to Bo Forbes. The social media has been very good for the league. Had a lot of things go quasi-viral, I guess if you want to call it. But we're continuing to grow. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us and tune in each and every week as we do this 4 Eastern, 1 West Coast. I have God knows what time it is right now in Germany, but we appreciate all of our overseas fans showing up each and every week. I see I've been live for over an hour. I'm contractually obligated to shut it down. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.